And welcome to another edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. I'm Rick Garner, along with Maryam the Medium. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Oh, it's another Sunday. It's that time again. Look at that. It's always good stuff, though, right?
Well, you showered, so I'm really happy to hear that.
We have pre-show conversations, and now apparently it gets put out there for everybody. So yes, I've showered today, folks, and I hope you're happy for that. It's an accomplishment. We'll check off the box. Yay, me!
Do you want to hear a funny story?
I hope so. After that,
So I was at the store the other day, and I was in line, and it's packed. The store's packed, and I'm in line. And you know how for some of the stores you have to stand away from like the register and call you over, and so they're like yelling to you to ask you any questions, right? Well, the guy was ringing up my food, and he dropped my box of cookies. And he looks at me and he kind of yells across like to me. He's like, "Hey, I just to be totally honest, I dropped the box. There might be some broken. And are you cool with that, or do you want to get your box?" Now, when you're in line, the last thing, like most annoying thing, is when the person in front of you was like, "Oh, hang on, I forgot something," and then everyone has to wait. So I'm like, of course, like no, I'm like, of course, it's totally fine. Go, do what you got to do. It's great, and you could hear just everyone like a sigh of relief. And then I run outside and I'm like, "Bruce, check the box of cookies. He dropped them. I think there's some that are broken. And if they're broken ones, I can't go back in. You have to be the one to go back in because I said it was fine." And he's like, "You know what? I am not doing any of that." And I was like, "You dropped a box of cookies." And I had to act like it was totally fine because I didn't want to piss everybody off. But I was really like, I swear to God, if we get home and there's only one good one in there.
There's a tragedy right there because broken cookies, that's not something to mess with. I mean, come on, folks. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, see, I'm with you on that one. And I think everybody else would be with us too. Hey, so welcome, Kathy Ann. Hello to you as well. And just want to let everyone know basically the rules of engagement for today. Sounds like we're going some type of warfare or something, doesn't it? Basically, all you got to do is you're interested in having some questions posed to Maryam, put those into the comments, and we will get to them because we wait to the end of the show to be able to do the live readings. So put them in there. You don't have to ask ask the same question, or don't ask, "Can I have a reading?" Don't ask any of that stuff. Just one specific question in the comments, and we will get to that at the end of the show. Hello, Heather Escalera, Ghost Girl 321.
Heather!
See, now I know that
I'm
she
excited.
giggled at that because she is way too awesome, basically. So we appreciate folks being here. Any other business that we need to take care of there?
No, my box of cookies were fine. So in the end, it all worked out.
The moral of the story is,
and the show's over. That's it. That's all I needed to share.
She actually got a cookie, So I was going to say, does somebody need a cookie?
All right. So, so for those of you that remember my story from last week, remember my story about how I fell on my face, which the text from my mom right after the show was, "God, I wish you got that on video." Not, "Oh my God, are you okay?" But, "God, I wish I could see that."
I'm with your mom on that one. I'd pay good money for that. I'm sorry. Was that out loud?
Yeah, very loud. Actually, everyone heard that. So I wanted to do a serious follow-up. For those of you that missed the story, I won't bore everyone with it again. You can listen to last week's show, but the moral of the story was our resistance to change and how we will consciously choose to not change because that change we know or anticipate is scary or hard. But I was asked to change. I made the changes that I was putting off, and that in regards to that story, that change was walking my dog Oliver differently, and in a way that I felt was going to be difficult for all of us, but it wasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still a work in progress. But what I wanted to say was this: when we don't change something we know we need to change, that's been like eating away at us and eating away at us, um, it can hold us back. So when I made this change and I was like, okay, I need to walk Oliver on the left and he needs to not walk in front of me anymore. What I realized was how I have a really nervous dog. I didn't realize how nervous he was. I never would have known that or learned that if I continued to let him walk out in front of me. I also realized he crosses in front of me all the time. No wonder I flew on my face. Like, he crosses in front of me like crazy. Point being is, I not only was I wasn't just ignoring the call for change by saying, "Oh, I don't want to walk my dog on the left, and I don't want to force him to have to walk next to me." It wasn't just that. It was that on top of, you didn't realize the energy of your dog. You didn't realize how nervous your dog was. You also didn't realize your dog walks across in front of you, so it's not shocking at all. It's surprising you haven't tripped more than you have up till now. I say this because everybody has something that they know they need to change but are scared to or don't want to, or it's too much work, or it's going to be too hard. But once you acknowledge that change and then start moving towards that change, you're going to see how that affected so many different areas of your life. I can't stress enough how being conscious and being aware, which is what we become in our daily meditation practice, where that brings us and what that teaches us and how it changes our life. I'm doing this manifestation workshop, 12:30s, right before this, live, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, where I'm helping you guys learn how to properly manifest and successfully manifest. And what we're realizing is that it is a not a straight straight road. It's not like a straight path. It forces us to realize what we have to change and acknowledge what we have to change. So so much. Anyway, take a card. Here we go. I feel like the way we do this may start to change a little bit. So just bear with me. The way I want to read you guys may change a little bit, which you guys don't care as long as you get the information, right? There's card 1, card 2. Hold on. Let me just find you card 3. There's some of you out there, I can already feel there's change. You guys, the need to change, the need to acknowledge it's time for you to change is very important, okay? There's a handful of you that aren't addressing it, aren't acknowledging it, you're ignoring it. Here we go. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Card 1, card 2, card 3. All right, this deck. All right, so we've got, for some of you guys out there, we've got a lot of, we were talking earlier in my live about super sense. What's your super sense? Do you see, do you feel, do you hear? For a lot of you guys, I'm feeling that it's imperative for you to tap into that super sense. This card 1, your super sense, in other words, is intuition. I just fell upon the word super sense listening to one of Guru Singh's lectures, and it was like spot on, because I don't like referring to our senses as gifts. I don't like referring to psychic ability, intuition as a gift. It's who you are. Okay. It's like saying my arm is a gift. Well, to be honest, it is a gift because I'm grateful that I have 2, right? But it's all, we don't refer to our limbs as gifts. We refer to them as just part of our body. Well, the same with our super sense, okay? But card 1, this is about, I'm feeling this urgency for you to understand your super sense, to that there's this urgency that it's time. This isn't about, oh, like spirituality, meditation's fun, I'm going to dabble in it, I'm going to look at it. No, for you guys, there's this urgency to really understand your super sense, to really understand what that is, how you're going to use it, and how it affects your life. This, you have to understand that this affects every aspect of your life: health, finance, emotional, relationship. This isn't just some fun game that people dabble in. Spirituality is you. It is who we are. Okay. So there's this strong pull, this card one, that you need to tap into this super sense. You need to be honest. You're not being honest about something in your life, which is why you're being forced to tap into this super sense. Why they're saying it's time, stop putting it off, stop ignoring it. You're not being honest about something in your life. For some of you, it's as simple as you don't like your job as much as you think you do. I'm speaking directly to somebody. For some of you, you're in a relationship that you have outgrown. Okay. So this need for you to grow, this need for you to be more than just this tangible physical body is imperative for this, for card one. I had someone ask me the other day about mentoring, and I think this applies to card one. Let me tell you, I do not mentor. I was honored and flattered that they asked me. I don't mentor because spirituality is not something that can be taught. It's not something you read in a book. It is something you experience for yourself. Okay? This isn't something that someone is going to preach to you and someone is going to read out of a book to you. You have to experience spirituality yourself. This card one, this super sense, it's about exactly that. Now, it doesn't mean don't read books. It doesn't mean don't listen to other people. It means listen and read and do. But if you are not doing your daily practice, all the information that you learn from me or anyone else or in a book, you can learn through your meditation practice, your higher sense, your higher consciousness. That's why I don't mentor, because you put the power on someone else. And that power has got to lie within you. And that information lives in all of us. So you find it, you tap into it. Okay. Doesn't mean you don't need help. Card one, that super sense, not messing around, do it. Card two, it's time to take action. That's what your card two is. Okay. Time to take action. That's pretty obvious. But card two, this is for those of you that are, card two, I'm feeling people that have, that are huge procrastinators. This isn't for, I'm not feeling a lot of people that are like already like go-getters and doing it. And this is people who are procrastinators, who are scared to move because they don't believe in themselves. They don't trust their movement or their actions. These are people that are like almost, some of you feel almost like frozen in time, where you're just scared to make the change, to make the move. It's time to take action, fearful or not. It's time for you to do it. It's time for you to make that change. And for some of you, that change is a change in, it's like I'm feeling like you almost need to change. You need to tell someone or people that you're not happy the way things are and you want things to be different. And that means that you're going to make choices that are different than what they're used to you making. And so, for example, I feel like there's some of you out there that are like you've been a certain way your whole life. Just like, let's say, for example, you've worked a job, you've worked a desk job your whole life, but you have always wanted more. That never satisfied you, but you did it because it was safe. It was how you were, people accepted you. You fit in. You felt like you fit in. And you did a good job at fitting in, but you're done because this other part of you wants to come out. And it's just like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not happy. It's not that your family isn't making you happy. It's that you aren't happy. And so it's time to take action. For some of you means telling people, listen, I know that I've kind of done this safe thing my whole life, but I'm just not happy with this safe thing. I want to do something different. And I'm going to make sure that it works. Card 3. Card 3 kind of matches my background. Card 3, you're stuck. You are looking for an answer to a question. You are concerned. You are looking outside yourself. You are not trusting yourself. You already know the answer. It's just that it may not be the answer that you wanted or thought or hoped. Everything is going to be okay, but you need to trust what you're feeling, even though it's uncomfortable. And know that everything is going to be okay. I feel like for some of you, maybe someone's sick or there's a concern. I feel like they're going to be okay. I feel like this is just a scare, you know, to kind of push you into action, into trust. So go within. You already have the answer. You already know the answer. Be okay with that. You know, trust and faith is not about things. It's not about trusting things are going to work out the way you want them to. Trust means that you understand you're co-creator with the universe and that there's more than you, the story of life, and that you are trusting that whatever the outcome is, you have this deep-rooted faith and understanding in spirit and how spirit works. And that outcome is exactly the way it's supposed to be for everybody, even if it's not the outcome you anticipated, wanted, or hoped for. We learn the most, we grow the fastest when those outcomes don't align with us. Doesn't mean we should not be successful and we should not celebrate when those successes, those things do line up for us, because we absolutely should. But the hard part is trusting the uncomfortable stuff, right? That's the lesson. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm covered in cards, so I'm ready. They're like all over me. I just kept throwing them on the floor for some reason.
Covered in so when you have a line of merch, I think we need to write these down. # covered in cards. Nobody else will have that, so we're putting a trademark on that right now. So no, can't.
You're right. No one else will have that.
You know. Well, I mean, it's applicable in this situation. Hey, everybody! Tonight, Unexplained Cases live. It is an Unexplained Cases Sunday, and our original program tonight is at 7 Pacific and 10 Eastern. And Mr. Darren Dito will tell us what we got going on tonight.
Hey, everybody, coming up on Sunday night on Unexplained Cases Live. Chances are you've probably seen her on those popular paranormal shows like the Holzer Files, using her abilities to connect to the other side. That's our special guest. That's psychic medium Intuitive April. Not only is she a psychic medium, but a shaman and also a ghost hunter. We're going to chat with her about her amazing background. Plus, it is a first for Unexplained Cases Live. Get this, Maryam will remote view into the haunted home that April grew up in. We should learn about her abilities. They will team up to get answers about the spirits in that home. And if ghosts are still there now, Unexplained Cases Live, 10 p.m. on the East Coast and 7 p.m. on the West Coast. We'll see you then.
Yeah, this would be a little bit of a first, because normally we have the pleasure of running out to all these famous or infamous locations. And in this case, this is a residence and basically a childhood home. So,
God, I hope they have their house clean. Could you imagine I remote and I'm like, hey guys, excuse me, I'm like spoon in front of the TV. Sorry.
This is real. Oh my, look at this. Wow, could you have just picked up just a little bit? You have a can of Sanka for me and a pound cake? What's going on here?
What?
Hey, that I went all Italian there for something or whatever.
Gosh,
okay,
that's funny.
Poor Suzette and Maya, they have been enduring my humor and everything else. See, I'm claiming.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
It's all me, you know. So we appreciate you being here today, and I'll hand it all over to Maryam to find out what's going on with you guys.
Yes. All right. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Maya. I apologize for the adult language. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Rick should have warned me way earlier. You were back there. I blame him. All right. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit? Don't give too much information. Like I skimmed through your email, but I don't take in too much because I want to be obviously very fresh when I say in. I know you have a really serious case. So if you could just explain a little bit to the viewers what you guys have been enduring, and then we'll jump in.
Okay, should I go ahead and start?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for as long as I can remember, it seems like Maya's been having horrific night terrors. As the doctors will say, oh, it's normal, it's night terrors. And these night terrors go on to the degree of like screaming, bloody murder. And it ramps up from like a no, 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 you know, and then I come into the room and all of a sudden I'm pulled in and we're both like, no, no, like we're screaming in her bed, bloody murder. And it really, and like after she's flailing and she's just, you know, and at some point she kind of wakes up and is like, what's going on? You know, like she's kind of then will often snap out of it, or she might still be a little bit upset and freaked out. But I just am having such a hard time believing that it's just nightmares. Like this girl has the calm, peaceful life demeanor. She's really a perfect child. She's wonderful. And then to have this bloody murder show up, like when she goes to sleep, just it upsets me. It, you know, and when she has it going on, it upsets her. And it feels like when she has it, it feels like when I'm in her presence or in her room, I feel something as if it comes like, I don't know if it's just, I'm so connected to her that I'm take it on a little bit myself, or the other day, it almost felt like something came through, like a vibration came through my body. And I was like, ooh. And then Maya goes, no, 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 as if it had like just to reach her. And then I went, no, Maya, it's okay. And then it kind of stopped. But it just got my mind wondering and curious about, is there something more to this than night?
Yeah. Okay. Tell me, Maya, you don't ever remember anything?
No, not even when I'm talking to her when it's over saying, what? I don't even remember that.
Okay, so you just open your eyes, you're awake, your mom's there, and you're like, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah, she won't, even if the next day I'll like remember any of that happening, that I even went into the room, and she won't even remember that even happened.
Okay. And now you said Suzette, right?
I'm Suzette, yeah.
Suzette, you said when you were a child, you had something similar? I
didn't have night terrors, but I was just always sort of creeped out and spooked and wondering if there were, you know, things lurking in the dark, and, you know, and I didn't have any good reason for it. And Maya and I were talking the other day of like, oh, when we're at the family home, we both she's like, I always feel creepy there. And I'm like, I always did too. And we kind of compared our stories of that, like nothing weird actually happened, but there was just that sense of like,
yeah, I got you.
Energy creepy.
Yeah. You sent me a picture of, that's the Google Maps of your house that you're referencing as creepy, right? Your old house.
Yeah.
Okay. There is, that house is creepy. But I want to focus on Maya. I definitely see the energy that's dealing with her. And just give me a minute. Let's see. Why? Okay, hold on. Why is she not having the experience, but you are? So basically, Suzette, you're the one having the experience. She's not even conscious that she's having an experience. So this energy is moving through her because this is an experience I don't want to say just yet to get to you, because that sounds really like crazy, and I don't know if it's that yet, but the experience is moving through her to get to you. I'm going to say that because I don't know no other way to say it. Because it's drawing you in, and if it didn't go through Maya, you wouldn't acknowledge it. And so you are continuing to write it off, but it is the energy that started at your house why it's choosing Maya is because Maya is like she's I'm going to use the word conduit, and I don't even know if I'm clear on what that means yet, but she is her abilities as you guys probably heard me talking about your super sense.
Mhm.
Maya's super sense is the ability she experiences things with her whole body, and actually beings move through her. Part of the reason why she isn't having this experience, like where it's not traumatizing her, it's traumatizing you, is because she's a healer, she's a conduit, so things move through her to get to where they are supposed to be. She has this because she is so, I mean, I know you said she's a perfect child, which she better be, she's yours. But she does have this angelic presence, this very evolved angelic presence that carries the capability of beings to move through her without them affecting her. This is not like mediums who channel and beings like talk to them. That's not the same thing. She has the capability of moving beings through her body, understanding she's a conduit, that they are passing through her, and that ultimately they're not there for her. And so this is going to be something that happens to her regularly. It's going to actually be very important that you are managing it. And to be honest, that might be something we have to do offline on how you manage this super sense, because it will, if it's not utilized, if it's repressed, or if it's not understood, it will turn into physical like tics or stutters, or physical like almost like not seizure like, but the physical body will start responding because it's trying to handle the energy surge that's moving through her. And so there will be physical repercussions, which actually they're saying this is actually common with people who do have stutters or like seizure type behavior, because they're trying to handle this energy and no one's taught them about it. So the physical body is like doing this type of thing. And then when the energy moves through the body, if it doesn't do a complete full swoop in and out, there's like particles of energy that are left, which causes then a physical response, which is where, like I'm saying, twitching or tics or that type of thing will come out of it. It doesn't have to, but if it's not acknowledged that this is her ability, that will start to happen. And then a lot of times, Suzette, what has to happen is we have to allow the soul to grow, and that growth will require like what you would maybe like, like maybe a year or two or pass and nothing will happen and things are cool down and calm down, and then she's she goes to school and her body's used as a conduit because she hasn't totally understood what that means yet, but she's not understanding what's happening. And you may find that she comes home and there's physical symptoms in the physical body that are responding to that. Sometimes we have to kind of crash before we can realize, oh, we need to fix that. Does that make sense? Like sometimes you have to let the body, you have to let it kind of implode and then be like, oh, we should fix this. Because this isn't something that can be easily tracked. And especially, so someone like for Maya, honestly, she should be a daily meditation practice. Yes, at this young of an age, and should be, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, and there should be some awareness of some Kundalini yoga postures. What those are going to do is teach her how to run the energy. It's really important that that's learned now. So, and I'll get to how this being and what this being for some reason is connected to you. Hold on. I think it feels like it's coming directly from this house. And not that it necessarily matters where it's coming from. For some reason, they're saying it not necessarily matters where it's coming from. It's the fact that it's coming in. So so it's not like it's an attachment. It's not like this is like some dark energy that's attached to you. It's not that. I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is, and because there's two things at play here. There's Maya, and on one hand it's like, okay, this is Maya's introduction to who she is and what she is, what her super sense is that she brings into this physical body. And so there's this sense of that's just what it is. She's fine. It's terrorizing you more than her. And that's because the attention needs to be brought to you, Suzette, since you're the mother, on how to assist and raise a child that carries this capability. This being is more electrical. It's not even, what is it? Because I understand when you explain it, I feel it, I get it, but yet it's not like, it's not dark. It's dark. Okay, it's dark, but it's not what we think it is. You're just saying it's not what we think it is. Okay, so what is it? Okay. So, crystals, not quartz, pink, tourmaline, pink crystals. I don't study or know crystals. I am just told what crystals to use for myself and for others through spirit. Get pink crystals. You can get purple for the head. I'll make sense of this in a minute. Green for the feet. Okay, so green for the feet, pink surrounds the body, purple the top of the head, maybe even pink at the top of the head. So there's going to be a surround. Okay, so so we're going to be surrounding her. We're going to buy physical crystals and we're going to surround her with them. We're not doing this as, it's important to understand this isn't protection, because this is not a being that is going to hurt. This is a life experience for both of you to set you on your path of understanding why you are and who you are. And so we want to remove the scary out of the experience. What's happening to Maya is it's not that it's a scary experience, it's that she doesn't know how to manage the physical body when there's other beings moving through her. So it's almost like some kind of similar to when you put an infant in water for the first time and some either laugh or some freak out and cry. There's this sensation of, I don't know what to do with what's being given to me. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So she has to learn how to manage, and with managing comes boundaries. Questions?
No. I mean, yes. Do you have any questions, Ellen?
Okay, we can meet offline and you guys can ask questions, more questions, yeah. Okay? So this isn't a being that I can remove, because it's actually different experiences each time. The reason why, Suzette, you experience beings differently than Maya, and so there's this whole other, experience and lesson for you involved. What's interesting is when I read your email, and even when Rick read it, there was this sense of urgency and sense of fear. And I feel like what we were experiencing is that from a maternal perspective is, oh my God, protect this child. Oh my God, protect this mother. Like, what's happening? And now that I'm experiencing it, I'm understanding that we don't need to be afraid. You are actually, Maya actually is like this profound angelic being that carries protection, capabilities and skills that none of us actually grasp. And so what we need to do is work with you, Suzette, on what It's like I mean, I don't like to put it in these terms because it's very superficial, but it's, kind of like you're, a child prodigy that's a, singer or athlete or something at a very young age, and the child has no clue what they are capable of, but everyone around them does. And that's what we're dealing with. The difference is, in today's day, children coming in like this are, the parents are being forced to acknowledge it so they can help raise them with it.
Right.
And that's what we're looking at right now. And so, okay. So really, Rick and I were all hyped up about this, but really nothing scary to see here, folks. We need to just work offline. And I need to work with you guys. And I'm just going to give you, at the end of the day, it's, what I talked about earlier is this is work only you guys can do. This is both of your journeys. This isn't my journey, it's yours, but I can absolutely guide and offer resources and assist. Most important takeaway for you, Mom, is that there is not, the spookiness from your house is very real. Those beings, though, that are there are not strong enough or to be harmful. They haven't followed you. This experience is multiple different experiences in one. And I just need to help redirect it. And we need to help Maya understand it.
Because the interesting thing is every time she's screaming out, it's the same every time. Mommy, mommy,
Okay.
no, mommy, help, mom.
Yeah.
Kind of in that, like, maybe there's this thing happening and she's kind of going, what the heck is going on? Right. And maybe screaming to me for that reason. Anyways, I know, like, that made me think, because you were saying it's multiple different things. But then I'm thinking, but it always shows up exactly the same, which
Right.
is kind of got me curious.
So the reason for that is when, hold on, they were just saying, so this is how she's reacting to energies moving through her. This is how she reacts. So it's like, shoot, how do I say it? What's an example? It's like if,
It's how someone responds to being tickled or something, or the way right?
Yes, thank you. That's why it's the same every time, because the same thing is happening every time, and she is reacting the same way every time. The thing is now, just hang with me for a second as I say this. You're hearing your child freak out, but your child isn't freaking out. And that's what I'm not totally clear on yet, because I don't know if she is verbalizing the beings that move through her, or if she is, like we said, this is just how she responds when a being moves through her. It's like the physical, her small physical body and her brain are trying to make sense of this angelic presence that's been shoved in a body. So like you have this strong angelic force that's been shoved in this little body, and the angelic portion gets it, but the physical body doesn't get it. And so she's reacting with confusion, as she should, as we all would. It's confusing. But from my perspective, it's not confusing. It's about piecing out what's happening so that it's manageable. There's nothing dark that surrounds you all. There's nothing that's going to hurt anybody. It's like she's an open, like, antenna, and we need to close the antenna. Like, her super sense is being a conduit, but that doesn't mean that beings are allowed to just, like, I see her at night and there's just like beings flowing through her body, like, constantly. In and out, in and out, in and out, for different reasons and for different reasons. And there's got to be boundaries. Like that's what we need to learn is, listen, I'm a conduit for those that need my assistance, but I'm not a conduit for everybody and everything. When we sleep is when we can be most vulnerable, which is why our practice and our solidifying our spiritual development is imperative, so that when we sleep, we are aware and conscious of what goes on in our sleep. And that is something that is very much something we should all do, but it's something that is done in a very subconscious way. And so I think what we just need to do is go offline, and I need to sit with you guys and speak with her guides and just get some serious clarification on how we are to manage this in this lifetime.
Okay.
So email me your phone so I can text you, and we'll set that up right away.
Okay.
Okay. Maya, questions? Or I am sure you're just like, this is boring, this is lame, but
it's a tiny bit confusing, but I think I can figure it out.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing for me too. We'll figure it out together. So probably left you with more questions than answers. That's okay. I'm confident that we will have that. I can get you the answer. So we'll just work on it. Text me tonight and we'll set something up maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Bye, Maya.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. And yet not even what we thought it was going to be, which, I've really just resounded to the fact that most of these cases are never that. There's always more to them. Except in this case, this was like 180-degree different from the expectation.
I think because, like I said, like you and we go into this maternal and paternal place of protection, and it's understandably, and I didn't let myself tap in because I don't do that. I don't want to know until it's time to actually work with the energies. But yeah, I mean, that's fascinating and complex, but not surprising. I think it's important that, my mom knows this better than anybody, that, when we come into body, we're these spiritual presence, that have these super senses, and then all of it shoved into a human body. And when you remove the human body, that's really who you are. When you remove the human body, that's really who you are. And for so many of us, whether it's physical illness or ailments or just struggles, come from our repression of our super senses. You repress your intuition, you repress your gut feeling. We do it. People do it through food. They do it through illness. Like when we allow the body to be sick, sometimes illness is imperative because it's how we clear. But a lot of times illness allows us to avoid experiencing who we are and owning up to who we are. And so like with Maya, the job for Suzette is going to be, which Suzette has no problem. She's obviously very open to managing it, but is to, like how my mom had to do. Like schools will say that they're behaving weird or doing this or doing that, or she'll have weird physical symptoms that doctors can't figure out. Like no one knows why this is happening or that happening, and why is she acting like this or saying this or doing that. Yet Suzette will know, like my mom always knew, no, it makes sense if you understand who we are as spirit first. This makes sense. What doesn't make sense is trying to force a spiritual being into a tiny human body and then force them to behave a certain way so that society accepts it. Maya's going to be different. She's lucky because she's a beautiful girl, and she, probably will never have will always have friends and will be socially acceptable, but she will be different. And yet all of us are different. But if we don't bring it out, like Suzette's doing, and they're kind of forced to.
Right.
I mean, Suzette, she could ignore it, but she's not. She's like, I know something else going on, and she was right.
See, and then some of us are really different.
Because you wash your hair for the first time since we started doing these live shows.
Oh my goodness. See, I just knew that's what we're doing. I'm not talking to you anymore.
I heard that. Do
course,
we have?
We know that's a
have any
fibber.
questions?
We know that's
I
a
know.
fibber, but so actually, did you have any from that were emailed to you to knock off first?
Nobody emailed me anything. So I don't
Wow.
want to hear it today. I don't want to hear,
Wow.
what do you mean? I need to send a picture. I told you. I'm done. That's the way to do it. Yell at everybody.
Well,
That's how you'll get new fans.
Hashtag yelling medium. That's great. So we got another one there. So
Hey me. Oh, guess what? I brought my glasses. Do my spirit guides have a message for me? Are we linking something specific? What kind of message? I usually don't answer these random ones, but I'm going to give it a shot just because sometimes it's too general for me. But let's see. Amy. Nope, not in that deck. Not in that deck. I only have 6 more decks. Hang on.
wait, is this like Where's Waldo, but with tarot cards?
It is.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how to see if I can get like a general message for Amy. And I keep hearing a why. Why are you? Is there something going on with? I don't know. See, this is why I don't do well with general. I'm hearing something about why and health. Is there something going on with your health? Or should you be doing something about your health that you're not doing? You're not using your intuition as much as you should be. That's one thing they're saying for sure. Why are you not using like Reiki, healing, hands? See? Yeah, see if there's something more specific, or honestly, Amy, if any of that resonated, great, but it was just kind of random there for me. Yeah, I'm hearing, okay, well, we moved on, sorry. I have this friend, guy, who has been having these 2 blackout spells. He does have diabetes, he's not taking it serious. Will this worsen? Hi, Kathy Ann. He's in denial. Yes, it will worsen. He is not wanting, he's rejecting his physical body. He's been rejecting it since he rejected it as soon as he came in a body. He is not happy in body. And I mean that his higher consciousness. I'm not saying he's suicidal. I'm not saying that. I'm saying his spirit is rejecting being in body. And now his consciousness is doing that by rejecting the physical response that the body is now having to rejecting it, because he's been rejecting it for so long. This is now where this is all coming from. And yeah, I'm sorry, it will get worse if he doesn't do something about it. Ooh, Garrett, listen, I gotta say, good for you, Garrett, for asking this question. Like, you've got some serious balls and confidence to ask this question. Good for you. You've been married for 26 years. You know, people always say congratulations, but congratulations if you're happy. But we don't know if everyone's happy. But let's see, Garrett, I've been married for 26 years. Does he still love me, or just going through the motions? Good for you for asking that question. Because you know what? Most of us don't even ask that question because we're scared of the answer. He loves you. He loves you. You guys are very well suited. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay together. And I feel like you two have to have that conversation. And this is a conversation I've had with my husband multiple times throughout our relationship. Are we together because we want to be, or because we genuinely love each other? And you two love each other, okay? But you two, and I'm including you in this, Garrett, because you're not off the hook. I think if both of you, it feels like if both of you were to fearlessly ask yourselves that together, you're either going to rebuild, or you're both going to happily say, well, maybe we've played it out. Obviously, that's not for me to decide. But he loves you and you love him. That's there. The question that you guys want to ask is, do we want to stay? Do we want to stay married? Or maybe are we ready for a new chapter in our lives? Or are we ready for a new chapter in our lives together? You guys are solid enough that you can have that conversation. But he loves you and you love him. So that's good.
May not be able to get a good read off the picture. Oh, this is a nice picture, but.
And he's really nice. Hi. Do we know him? How do we say his name?
I don't. I would go with Duke. That's what I would say.
Duke. Oh, there you go. You know what? Even with my glasses on, I don't know that I'm going to be able to see him.
No,
Male, yeah?
That's a small, cool picture there. So, yeah. And by the way, guys, the reason we're talking about that is what's always helpful is whomever is asking the question, if your picture is in the profile, that's always very helpful.
Let me see if I get anything on Duke.
Sure.
I'll find new, yeah.
Maryam works off of pictures, in case y'all don't know. And frankly, we do have some new people, so they certainly don't know.
Hi.
Part of how this works.
Yes, you will find new love actually soon, but this person is going to be someone that you respect. There needs to be more respect in the relationship from both sides. This is someone you're going to meet soon, yeah, actually. But you need to be, they're saying like you need to kind of back off. Like, I'm not saying you're aggressive, not in a bad way, but it's like maybe you move too quick. When you meet this person, there'll be those feelings. So be patient, stay pulled back. This person is a very confident, strong person. So you'll want to respect that. Don't be intimidated by that. Honor it. And you two could have a great relationship. That was hard, but I did it.
Nice.
Look who's run up.
Look, I think you need a cookie. Is that box close by?
That box is long gone.
It didn't. Speaking of sweets, so next week we're actually going to have Irene back on the show, and she must have been referring at the top of the show when I was talking about a pound cake and Senka.
That's funny.
So I just had to.
Hi, Irene.
Had to drop
Thanks
that
for
in
the
there.
pound cake.
You know,
I'm vegan, so mine would have to be vegan.
I know, right? And I need to hold her up there for just a second because I'm trying to find what's next. Scrolling through. Yeah, guys, I got to find this stuff sometimes. Wow, this one's going to take a bit. Here we go.
Maryam.
No picture, but Carolyn, let's see.
Yeah, there's a picture there.
There's a picture there?
Yeah. She's kind of up, it's upside down. Like I have to go like this. Man, this isn't funny. This is a serious question, Rick. Stop it.
See? Well, no, I was just seeing a profile, generic profile. So I was like, what picture are you seeing?
Maybe she just threw one up there. It's Carolyn Lafert. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so bad at saying names. Oh, Carolyn, I want to give you good info. Email me, and I'm going to ask you for pictures, okay? I want to give you accurate information.
Awesome. Well, then I'm going to say that because I'm seeing something different. So I'm glad you were seeing a picture then.
Sunny sky.
Now, you know, I'm
Sunny.
sorry. You have to, I mean, that is a sunny sky. So, I mean, come on, right?
I need at least a name, unless that's your name.
I'm kind
I
of.
mean, listen, guys, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Like, I'm supposed to like read without a photo, without a name. Just in general, are you on the right path? By the picture and the name, Sunny Skies, I would say yes. But either email me or upload a photo and put your name in the message.
There you go.
Gita, when will I meet the person I'm going to marry? Thank you, Gita. Photo question. Okay, loaded though, because you want to marry this one. Okay, hold on. Maryam, don't mess it up. She wants to marry this one. Okay. Ooh, Gita, what's happened? Whoa, my cards are freaking out. There's been bad relationships. Like, I don't like the partners you've picked lately or in this lifetime. I laugh because that's a lot of partners I don't like. I need you to, Gita, you are not going to have an issue meeting someone. Is this person the right, good for you, not the right one, but are they good for you? You have to reset. You are stuck in a pattern and you're continually pulling in these partners that either reject or are mean or hurt you. There's this lack of respect that they show. Like they it's like sometimes they even like cover themselves as nice people, and then but they're kind of hurtful and doing things behind you that isn't very nice. You need to do a reset. Honestly, you should be coming to my 12:30 manifestation, because we need to reset you and set you up for a successful relationship. You're not going to have a problem meeting anybody. You will be getting married. Don't worry about any of that. The worry or awareness should be that you need to stop the cycle that you are in relationships that are not good for you. Then you can reset so you can draw to you the right person. Because they keep saying you aren't going to have a problem meeting anybody. That's not a problem. You're going to have many options to marry. The problem is you are drawing to yourself bad partners, and we need to stop that. So, will you marry? Yes, but more importantly, what they want you to know is that reset. Your foundational go-to is almost abusive. And maybe not, it's not physical, but it's emotional and it wears on you. And there's this vacancy it's left. You got this. You just need to reset. I'm sorry. I know that wasn't what you wanted to hear. You wanted me to say June of 2024. Again, you will. Don't worry. Nick. It's a little... Let me see if I can get anything. It's a little vague, but let me see what or who will things change for me. I also might want to do this. Put my psychic glasses on. Oh.
Hey, that's
now
something
I'm just telling bad jokes like you. Sorry.
We can put this in the merch shop there. Psychic glasses. Look at that. I feel like we're at the back of comics.
How old did I look just now when I went like this? I don't know what it is. When you get older, you open your mouth and you take your glasses off. Oh.
Put it on
Nick,
the end of your nose. Yes, Nick.
Seriously. Listen, here's what I want to ask you. Will things change for me? Spirit's asking why you're in this mess in the first place. Why are you in this situation in the first place? Why are you not seeing how you put yourself in this situation in the first place? Why are you not understanding? Or if you do understand how you got here, then why are you unable to see your way out? There is this large sense of ownership they're wanting you to take. And when people do things to us, we blame them, but yet we're creating all of our experiences. Okay. Why have you created the situation that you're in, or situations you're in? And why do you think you don't have the power to create yourself out of them or out of it? Ownership is what they keep saying. I need you to take ownership. And when you see that ownership and you feel it and understand it to your very core, you're going to start to see things chip away and change. And like they're saying, like the things that are surrounding you right now that aren't working are going to slowly start to dissipate. Once you take that ownership and realization of how you got yourself there, and that you have the same way you got yourself in, you can get yourself out. Only this time, when you got yourself in, it was all subconsciously. It's like this treadmill you're on of behavior. But now you're going to consciously find how to remove yourself from the situation. Again, I don't give straightforward answers that people like. I'm not that psychic that I'll just say yes and no. I will force you to be a better person if it kills me.
Wait a minute. I don't know if I've ever heard you just give a yes or no answer, though. So, I mean, there's usually some good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting me, Rick.
Well, all the time. That's what I'm here for. Unlike Emily, who was talking about my hair, and I adore her, even still. Will I find new love? That's Emily's.
Emily, I didn't know if you answered those questions. Oh, that's all I've been answering. It seems to be love seems to be the trend. Don't sing the thing from the Love Boat. Psychic with that.
Wow. It's like you're psychic or something.
Will I find new love? Emily, listen. Just kidding. I'm like in lecture mode. Here's the thing. I don't know. Let's find out. On one hand, I want to go, no, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. Like, could you imagine that? No, obviously no one's going to be alone the rest of their life unless that's what they want. Then of course, that's an easy fix, right? That's not the case with you. The question with you though is, you know how bad we want to set those two up. What was the other? So wasn't there another guy looking love, Duke?
Yeah, well, see?
Emily, you are, they gave me a word, but don't freak out when I say it. Delusional. Not that you are going to find delusional is not disillusioned. See, interpretation is key when you're sorry.
I'm not letting you go with this one.
A delusional crazy. They're like, you're a delusional crazy person, Emily. No, you're disillusioned. There is a man. Wait. Partner, I'm sorry, because could be masculine energy, may not be male. There is a partner. Yes, I feel like you know them already. They may be in a relationship, which is why it hasn't. But that you've been disillusioned with relationships in the past. The reason for that is you are not utilizing your super sense of feeling and then seeing behind what people present to you. And so if you would utilize that sense so that you can see the whole person from the beginning, it will help you not become disillusioned later on. You will see them for who they are in the beginning, good, bad, ugly, and decide then if that's going to, everyone's willing to put up with different things in relationships, right? No one's perfect. So which the not so perfect parts you have the ability to see. So start seeing those out the gate so that you aren't disillusioned or thrown off when they show that side to you. And then there's judgment. But there's somebody, he's tall-ish. This is how they're presenting him. Dark suit, dark black hair, little bit taller than you, but seems almost maybe, I feel like you're kind of tall, Emily. Maybe your height a little taller, and is around you already. And I feel like you know him, but he's in a relationship already, possibly, or you haven't met, you have mutual friends. But that's what they're saying to do to help you find, to connect with the right person and to find that person you want to be with long term.
Intriguing. All right, we got a couple more.
Just a dreamer. I'm sorry I don't have a picture, but I was wondering if Maryam could get a sense of why she's having more and more health issues and pain. My name is Christy. Yeah, something like that. I don't want to mess with Christy. Why don't you email me so I can see your picture and I can do it? And I don't want to give you false information, especially about your health. Not that I want to give anyone false information, but obviously there's a difference between telling someone something about their health and saying you're not going to get married. So just email me and we'll figure it out. Megan Miller, I have a seasonal. Huh?
I'm going to go with spirit at a campground.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Okay, that's a whole, like, that's a, I have to go there. I'm going to need pictures of the location, and that's a whole, I mean, come on our live show. Come tonight.
Yeah.
Megan, email me.
For something like this, and I also partially brought it up to where if you've got something like I would call this large, then definitely reach out to us and give us some more information on that so we can go deeper to it.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
I was seeing if I had anyone else. Just having to scan through here. Lots of fun reactions to our delusional conversation. It looks like. So, I was if Emily wasn't riffing on that, basically, I would have been thoroughly disappointed in her because I mean, come on, she's fun people. So it's good that she likes us. Otherwise, anyone else being called delusional would have been like, you what? So, time to throw
Love
down.
you, Emily.
Cage fight time, yeah. So
okay.
Good time for today, folks. Now there were some people, we had some new folks. Thank you, we love you, and some folks were like, oh, I wasn't aware, and that's where it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly cool, because it's just these are things to help us just be able to get accurate information, having the picture, having the specific question, and if we don't get to them before the show is over with, then I'm still running it at the bottom down there, the little ticker that has the email address, which is maryamlive at unexplainedcases.com. That's where you need to send. And again, you send an email, you got a question, just make sure that there's a picture tossed in there, and then we will answer that next week at the top of the show. But meanwhile, for tonight, be sure and same channel, but at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, Unexplained Cases Live. We're going to have Intuitive April. There's going to be a whole lot of psychic medium going on tonight. That's what I'm saying. Darren and I are just going to get in the corner and just go, because it's going to be all over the place tonight, but in a good kind of way. So look forward to seeing you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.